Breaking news today, a lot going on around the world, so I'm going to share as much as I can with you in a short amount of time. China deploys a record 125 warplanes in large-scale military drills, and this is a warning to Taiwan. Read all about it, AP News. Also, U.S. approves deployment of troops and anti-missile system to Israel. This is happening close to the time of a full moon, supermoon, the hunter's moon. Comet Tsuchinshan, ATLAS, arrives from afar. We're going to look at this, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to look at the latest updates with Asheville because of the recent hurricanes. Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina got hammered. Asheville, Western North Carolina flooding. Latest updates, everything to know in week 2 of the recovery after Helene, Citizen Times, and floods, blackouts, gas shortages. Florida faces headwinds in the wake of hurricanes Helene and Milton. Are you concerned about the economy? Rightfully so. I know a lot of people that are. Be prepared, not scared. There's one asset that stands the test of time. That's gold. For centuries, gold has been a hedge against inflation, volatility, and economic instability. With the Gold IRA from Noble Gold Investments, you can harness the power of precious metals to help protect your financial future. By rolling over your existing IRA or 401k into a self-directed gold IRA, you can enjoy the potential for long-term growth and stability. Diversify your portfolio with a tangible asset that has real value. Setting up your gold IRA has never been easier with Noble Gold Investments and LeapProjectGold.com. Its streamlined process and expert guidance makes it smooth and simple. This election year, don't let election volatility and uncertainty keep you up at night. Vote for the timeless safety of gold and silver in 2024. When you convert your 401 or IRA through Noble Gold Investments, if you qualify, you will be gifted this beautiful solid silver 10-ounce American flag bar behind me. Or if you prefer, you can get these limited edition Trump rounds. 10 of these, total of 10 ounces. Your choice, give them a call, 1-877-646-5347. And let's get back to the podcast right now. Where should we start? Well, let's start with the first article. China deploys record 125 warplanes in large-scale military drill in warning to Taiwan. They're mad. China employed a record 125 aircraft, as well as its Liaoning aircraft carrier and ships in large-scale military exercises surrounding Taiwan and its outlying islands on Monday, simulating the sealing off of key ports in a move that underscores the tense situation in the Taiwan Strait. According to officials, China has made it very clear it was to punish Taiwan's president for rejecting Beijing's claim of sovereignty over the self-governing island. The drills came 4 days after Taiwan celebrated the founding of its government on its National Day, when Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te said in a speech that China has no right to represent Taiwan and declared his commitment to resist annexation or encroachment. How would you like to live out there? That's pretty tense. You know, Taiwan does make the majority of, or many of the microchips around the world, very high level, very difficult. You need the right equipment and obviously technology, but also education. You need to know how to make these chips. And I've brought up before, does Taiwan have back doors in these chips that they might be able to shut off in certain vessels or aircraft or GPS systems? If there was a threat to their sovereignty, could they retaliate in a way that would essentially shut off certain essential communications and GPS systems? I don't know, just something to think about. But let's go back to the article here. This is a resolute punishment for Lai Ching-te's continuous fabrication of Taiwan independence nonsense, China's Taiwan Affairs Office said in a statement. Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense said 90 of the aircraft, including warplanes, helicopters, and drones, were spotted within Taiwan's air defense identification zone. The single-day record counted aircraft from 5:02 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Shipping traffic was operating as normal. the ministry said. Taiwan has remained defiant. Our military will definitely deal with the threat from China appropriately, Joseph Wu, Secretary General of Taiwan's Security Council, said at a forum in Taipei, Taiwan's capital. Threatening other countries with force violates the basic spirit of the United Nations Charter to resolve disputes through peaceful means. Taiwan's presidential office also called on China to cease military provocations that undermine regional peace and stability and stop threatening Taiwan's democracy and freedom. So I guess earlier there was a map which was aired on state broadcaster CCTV, which showed 6 different blocks encircling Taiwan, indicating where the military drills were being held, along with circles drawn around Taiwan's outlying islands. So there's 6 key areas, it appears. The Liaoning aircraft carrier, which is a part of these drills, is a, well, let's look into this. It's a Type 1 aircraft carrier, the first aircraft carrier commissioned to the People's Liberation Army Navy Surface Force, originally classified as a training ship intended to allow the Navy to experiment, train, and gain familiarity with aircraft carrier operations. Upgrades were done, additional training in late 2018. Chinese state media announced that the ship would shift to a combat role in 2019. What a surprise, right? What a surprise. So this was originally laid down in 1985 for the Soviet Navy as the Kuznetsov class aircraft carrier Riga. She was launched on December 4th, 1988. Renamed Varyag in 1990. After the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, construction was halted. The ship was put up for sale by Ukraine. The stripped hulk was purchased in 1998 after much delay, towed to the Dalian Naval Shipyard in northeast China, arriving in 2002. Top of the line, folks. Top of the line. Just saying. China's People's Liberation Army Eastern Theater Command spokesperson, Senior Captain Li Zi, said Monday evening that the drill was successfully completed. This has been going on for a while. I wonder if it's just more charades, you know? Like, how far are they willing to go? It's like, well, you said you're independent, so we're going to show off our military force around your island because we're mad. I don't know. Let's hope it stays that way and doesn't get any worse. NBC News, U.S. approves deployment of troops and anti-missile system to Israel. It isn't the first deployment of a THAAD system in Israel. Last year, Biden ordered its military placement in the Middle East after the October 7th attacks. And also, Israeli Prime Minister told the UN to remove its peacekeepers from southern Lebanon today. Israeli forces have injured at least 5 UN peacekeepers in recent days, drawing international outrage. Now, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin called for a diplomatic solution to the conflict in Lebanon, according to a readout of a conversation with his Israeli counterpart, even as Israel spoke with U.S. officials about its plans to strike Iran. This is happening around the time of the next full moon. It's a supermoon, and it's the hunter's moon. Let's take a look at this. The next full moon is a supermoon, the hunter's moon, the travel moon, the dying grass moon, or the sanguine or blood moon. The next full moon will be Thursday morning, October 17th, 7:26 a.m. Eastern Time. This will be the late Wednesday night for the International Dateline West Time Zone and early Friday morning from New Zealand time eastwards to the International Dateline. The moon will appear full for about 3 days around this time, from Tuesday evening through Friday morning. It will be the third of 4 consecutive supermoons and the brightest by a tiny margin. as the full moon after the harvest moon. This will be the hunter's moon, the earliest written use of the term hunter's moon identified in the Oxford English Dictionary from 1710. I have read the name travel moon comes from observing the migration of birds and other animals preparing for the winter. I don't know, this name may also refer to the season when the more northern tribes would move down from the mountains for the winter. For example, both the Iroquois and Algonquin would hunt in the Adirondack Mountains during the summertime, but leave in the fall to avoid harsh mountain winters. Now, the comets, 2 comets might be visible during this lunar cycle. For both of these comets, I recommend paying attention to the news and checking out local astronomy websites that could have better forecasts, particularly the newly discovered comet, ATLAS. Others with newer information and better modeling tools should be able to provide better guidance on when and where to look. 5 meteor showers are predicted to peak during this lunar cycle. 3 meteor showers peak between October 18th and 24th, when the light of the waning moon will interfere. The most significant being the Orionids peaking October 21st, while the Orionids tend to be brighter than average. The peak is about 20 meters per hour under ideal conditions. Comet Tsuchinshan, ATLAS. Amazing. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. An astronomer's delight. All the sights to behold in the skies and the heavens. And then all the charades and all the madness that's going on down here on this beautiful rock filled with lush life and beauty and rainforests and trees and beautiful oceans. And I mean, the landscapes out here, what a beautiful place to be. Let's keep it that way. And wow, talk about some Mother Nature's kind of saying, hey, look, I'm here. Listen to this, Citizen Times, Asheville, Western North Carolina flooding, latest updates, everything to know in week 2 of recovery after Helene. Recovery in Western North Carolina continues into its second week after the remnants of Hurricane Helene battered the mountain communities that are still without water, internet, and power. Even without some of the modern basic needs, neighbors have rallied together to help one another as they recover and rebuild the communities that have welcomed people from around the world for decades. The days keep moving forward, and there is still much going on in terms of the aftermath of this storm and an even longer road ahead. Now, when it comes to terms of recovery and rebuilding the communities that have lost almost everything, we're going to look at the updates here from citizen-times.com. Road conditions in Western North Carolina. Road closures continue. Some won't open for months. Hundreds of major and minor roads are still closed after being washed away completely or being engulfed by landslides or so clogged with debris it's hard to tell a road even exists. Interstate 40 and Interstate 26 at North Carolina and Tennessee border are closed indefinitely until the infrastructure of the roads can be evaluated after rivers and mudslides damage sections of both roads. Asheville isn't the only community picking up the pieces. Western North Carolina has dozens of small towns and incorporated areas that are usually a haven for tourists and locals alike. These communities are now picking up the pieces, still trying to determine what's next. The Western North Carolina communities are in the process of recovery, even though it's slow and every day is a struggle. Real people are doing real deeds to rebuild, and let's rebuild it even better if it's possible. Chimney Rock set to rebuild. Farmers look for aid, help in Buncombe County. Now, did you hear about FEMA? FEMA backs off in North Carolina after threats, allegedly. So let's go directly to FEMA and see what they have to say. FEMA issues public notice for North Carolina. Well, that's October 5th. It's the 14th. Come on, search engine. This is 2 hours ago. Let's just read this from Fox 12, Oregon. FEMA contractors ordered to stand down after security threats, messages show. Interesting. An inspection agency that works as a contractor for the Federal Emergency Management Agency has ordered its employees in Western North Carolina to cease inspections over the weekend and return to hotels. WBTV has confirmed. Sunday evening, the Washington Post first reported messages about reports of threats to FEMA-affiliated workers. In Rutherford County, WBTV has independently confirmed that reporting with sources with direct knowledge of the threats. The news comes after FEMA workers across Hurricane Helene's disaster zone in Western North Carolina have been targeted with misinformation and rumors about the federal government's recovery operations in the area. Interesting. Messages that WBTV has reviewed sent to employees of a contracting agency that works with FEMA for inspections appears to show an impact area across Western North Carolina. Effective immediately, disaster-wide, cease inspections today and return to your hotels. An alert from Vanguard Inspection Services read on Saturday. FEMA received news that the Title X active military unit deployed to North Carolina came across some trucks of militia units who said they were out hunting FEMA personnel. Vanguard was not immediately available for comment. Late Sunday evening, a second message from the company told employees to continue their stand down throughout Monday until further notice. Earlier Sunday morning, in a Facebook post, the Ashe County Sheriff's Office acknowledged threats to FEMA employees and contractors in Western North Carolina, but said there had been no reports in Ashe County. Woo-wee! Sounds like it's getting pretty intense out there. We wanted to address the current issues being spread about FEMA in Ashe County, Sheriff B. Phil Howell wrote. As a response, they have been here to help and assist those in need. Recently, in the mountain region, there have been threats made against them. This has not happened in Ashe County or the surrounding counties. Out of an abundance of caution, they have paused their process as they are assessing the threats. Also, on Sunday, a FEMA spokesperson acknowledged some operational adjustments for safety issues in Western North Carolina, but did not confirm any threats. FEMA continues to support communities impacted by Helene and help survivors apply for assistance, a spokesperson wrote. We'll keep you posted. Now let's go to the article from CNN. Floods, blackouts, gas shortages. Florida faces headwinds in the wake of hurricanes Helene and Milton. Flooding remains a threat along swollen rivers. Millions still without power. The number of Florida customers still in the dark dropped by more than 1 million between Thursday morning and Friday afternoon, signaling progress by energy companies working to restore electricity across the state. But 1.4 million remained without power by Saturday afternoon, according to poweroutage.us. An outage left the sewer system in Sanibel, Florida, out of order by Friday, prompting the city manager to urge residents not to use their toilets or showers. Just hold it in, or go out in the back and dig a hole. Yeah, and then you can put up a tent, and you'll have privacy, and I mean, it's human manure. All right, I'm sorry, that's bad. As of 3 p.m. Saturday, power had already been restored for 2.65 million customers, according to Governor Ron DeSantis. Gasoline shortage continues across the state. Gasoline was hard to come by in the Tampa Bay area as ongoing fuel shortages wiped out the supply to more than 3 out of 4 gas stations in the area by Friday afternoon, according to gas price tracking platform Gas Buddy. Across Florida, nearly 30% of stations were without fuel, with 77.5% of those shortages reported in the Tampa-St. Petersburg area. The state's authorities were working to distribute fuel as fast as humanly possible, said DeSantis. More than 37.3 million gallons of fuel will be offloaded at Florida ports by noon on Saturday, the state's Division of Emergency Management Director Kevin Guthrie said during a news conference. 3 public fuel sites in Plant City, Bradenton, and St. Petersburg have been open so far, with more coming where customers can receive 10 gallons of gas each for free. DeSantis said during the Saturday news conference. We have right now 25 Florida Highway Patrol escorts to rush in the fuel tankers from the port. And so those are being brought in to fill out the stations, DeSantis said. Good. Good to hear. Airports, oceans, ports, and theme parks reopening. Let's go to Disney World. It's going to be amazing. There was just this, I mean, what else do you want to do after a hurricane? You want to go to Disney World? Come on, let's go. No, thank you. We'll wait 2 hours in line to go on one ride and pay way too much for everything there. That sounds amazing. Airports, ocean ports, theme parks. Tampa International Airport has reopened after service was suspended 3 days, while Sarasota Bradenton International Airport will remain closed until 9 a.m. Eastern Time Wednesday as crews work to address damage caused by the storm. The Coast Guard has reopened some ports in Florida, as well as several ports in Georgia and South Carolina, although many Florida ports were still closed as of Friday. Meanwhile, Walt Disney World, Aquatica Orlando, Discovery Cove, and SeaWorld Orlando theme parks have resumed welcoming visitors. Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, and Adventure Island, however, will remain closed on Saturday. St. Petersburg is assisting residents. Recovery will take time and money. Really? So, folks, there you have it. That's the news for today. I'll bring more later. I have some information I'd like to share with you about these UFO swarms and USOs. And they've got so many different names for them now. Unidentified drones. Yeah. Well, I have more information about that. And also I have information about a piece of metal that was allegedly discovered after a UFO crash site. I'm going to share with you the analysis. We're going to look into that. And yeah, what a beautiful day. So thanks for watching. Hit the bell, be well. Check out on Patreon and Leak Project for long format interviews with guests and information you're not going to find anywhere else, exclusive content. Be excellent to each other and be the change you want to see.
Baby,